Very good, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, what role do star signs play in a person's destiny, and also the feelings and intuitions a person gets?
Okay, one question I'll take. So what role do the star signs play in a person's destiny? Firstly, there are different ways of looking at things, and this has to be very clearly understood. Today, our prominent way of looking at the stars is that they are just gigantic lumps of matter which are orbiting according to certain laws, and that's all we think that is there. Yes, that is one level of perception, but that is not the only level at which they can be perceived. So to understand this, the standard example that I give is that suppose you have, say, you have chalk and you have coal, and we grind both chalk and coal into powder. We get white powder, we get black powder. Now if we mix the two together, we'll have a grey looking powder, a powder that looks grey. But if I look at that same grey powder under a microscope, I won't see grey powder at all. I will see white granules and I will see black granules. Now what is it actually? Is it white and black granules, or is it a grey powder? Well, what it is will depend on the scale at which we are perceiving it. Under a microscope it is something different. To my eyes it is something different. To my naked eye it is something different. So like that, at our level of perception, the stars and the celestial objects, they may seem to be just insentient lumps of matter. But at another level of perception, they are not just lumps of matter. There are higher beings who are associated with those particular planets. And those higher beings are a part of the cosmic plan for orchestrating things in the universe. Say for example, I take too much electricity and don't pay the electricity bill. So at that time I may think that is happening in a particular corner here, and from this wire I have taken out some illegal connection and I'm getting electricity from there. But then from somewhere, some shop, some store or some office somewhere, I might get a legal notice that you are fined this much. Now I may say, if I just look at it from a very disconnected perspective, I may say that, hey, this particular connection was here and this office is here. What is the connection between the two? But this whole thing is an interconnected network. So like that, the whole universe is an interconnected cosmos. And our actions, so just as the action of, say, stealing electricity, the reaction to that is coming through a particular agent. That is the electricity officer over there or whoever it is. So like that, whatever actions we do, the actions produce reactions. And those reactions come through us through certain agents. And those agents, a portion of those agents are the higher beings who are associated with the planets. So that's why when a person is born, at that time, the way the stars are, that to some extent determines and by that one can foresee certain kinds of events that are going to happen in that person's life. And by understanding this broad trajectory of the experiences of the event that are going to come in a person's life, that can be understood. Just like, say, if I am going from here to Nasik, then if I have a map, then I'll know, okay, here there's going to be a bridge, here there's going to be the ghat, here there's going to be a rocky road, here the road is very smooth. So that is more or less like once the pathway I know, I get an idea. But there also, now I can choose. Okay, if I go through a slippery area fast, my likelihood of accident is much more. If I go slowly, the likelihood of accident is much less. So like that, the star signs, what we call as star signs, basically, they are not just signs. There are higher beings who are associated with them, and they have some responsibility in maintaining the universal order by becoming instruments for some reactions to come upon some people. And a rough indicator of that comes through the position of the stars at particular times. So star signs, they play a role in the unfolding of our destiny. And by understanding that role, to some extent, astrology tries to give us some means to either minimize or prepare ourselves for dealing with this. Does that answer your question?